Good morning, Unity of Music City. Welcome to a place where we honor all pathways. We could all use a little more love. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see, yeah. Another day goes by, till the children cry, put a little love in your heart. We want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Just wait and see, yeah. Oh, take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart. Oh, and the world will be a better place. I know the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Everybody put a little love in your heart. Oh, everybody please put a little love in your heart. We all need more love. Put a little love in your heart. Love is what the world needs. Put a little love in your heart. One more time, put a little love. Put a little love in your heart.
Good morning and welcome to Unity of Music City. That was a singer I just met this morning named Nickie Conley. Actually, most of you know that's not true. I know her quite well. Singing backup, Jackie Wilson, and then on piano is Mr. Roger Ryan. the one, the only, Roger Wright. It is so good to see you this morning. And I really do mean that because some of you we are seeing on Zoom this morning. So we're actually seeing you. I was thinking this morning about how nice it would be to see all of your faces again. And I was thinking about a Bible verse. I know you find that hard to believe that I was thinking about a Bible verse. But one came to me this morning. It's from Corinthians. And it says, now we see through a glass darkly, but soon we shall see face to face. And I think the question with the pandemic life that we live these days is, when will we see each other face to face? Well, that's none of our business. The faith is our business. Soon we shall see each other face to face. I've got a few quick announcements for you this morning to keep you up to date with what's going on, because things are still going on here at Unity of Music City. We've got Unity chats that have just begun. Some of you are listening to me right now on the Unity chat. We're starting on Zooms at 10:30 on Sunday morning. Now, I know it's not quite the same as that hug that you used to get from folks, but, you know, give it a shot. You at least can see each other's smiling faces and talk to each other. You log into Zoom and hang out with friends, talk before the service, and then at 11 a.m., everyone will mute, please mute, to watch the service. So join us with that. You can find the Zoom meeting details in the weekly email, what's happening at Unity of Music City. If you don't get those emails, then I recommend that you call the church office to get signed up for those emails, because it's the best way to stay in touch with what we're doing. Or follow us on Facebook. This stuff gets put on Facebook as well. The Lunch Bunch Book Club is still meeting on Wednesdays. They meet by Zoom at 11:30. They are currently reading the book Secrets of the Lost Mode of Prayer by Greg Braden. So if you'd like to connect during the day, during the week with that group, again, look to our Facebook page or our email for details, or you can call the church office. The Healing Arts Ministry is sponsoring a virtual energy wellness clinic the second Friday of the month using distance energy techniques. We all know that energy is energy. You don't have to be right next to me to get the same load of energy. It doesn't diminish. It doesn't disperse. It's as strong as if you're right there. So if you'd like to get some energy work with our Energy Wellness Clinic, then be sure to send your request to the ham email at, you might want to have a pencil. You got one? I'll wait. Okay, all right, get a pencil. At uomcenergywellness@gmail.com. uomcenergywellness@gmail.com. And then, of course, they will take love offerings as well. You can give those through the church website. The prayer chaplains are still available for your prayers. They've never stopped. If you have a prayer or concern that you would like the chaplains to be made aware of, you can email that prayer request. Get your pencil ready. To uomcprayerrequests@gmail.com. uomcprayerrequests@gmail.com. Thursdays at 7, Tuesdays at 7. I could read. Tuesdays at 7. We're having our weekly midweek Zoom meeting. This is kind of in place of the Wednesday night classes that we used to do. Empowering Self for Personal and Community Change. You can contact Valerie White or Margie Hart for more information. Again, please see the UOMC email for that. It is a Zoom meeting, and it can be found in the weekly email. Finally, Wednesday, August 5th, there is an awareness ministry meeting. Now, you might be saying, I've never been on the awareness ministry. No, I'm not signing up for that. But here's the deal. If you would like to be involved in discussing new ways for Unity of Music City to interact with members and social media, then please join this group of folks via Zoom, the Awareness Ministry meeting at 6:30, Wednesday, August 5th. Again, go to the email for details. All right, that's enough for me. I think Nickie Conley should sing again. What do you think, Vic? All right, let's do it.
Heard your love was gone, You said you wouldn't cry. You promised you'd be strong. You promised you'd be fine. Feels like a starless night with many shadows. Still life, the ending of a dream. I know your faith is bigger than the dark tonight. I know you're gonna make it through the fight, alright. Stronger than before. You are stronger than before. Things are gonna change, the pain will go away. It might take a while, but I promise it won't stay. Kill ourselves for understanding. Oh, how it's never good enough. Know your faith is bigger than the dark tonight. Know you're gonna make it through the fight, alright. You are stronger than before. You are, yes you are, stronger than before. I know your faith is bigger than the dark tonight. I know you're gonna make it through the fight. You're gonna make it through alright. Oh, I know your faith is bigger than the dark tonight. You are gonna make it. Oh, you're gonna make it through the fight. Yes, alright. Oh, I know your faith is bigger than the dark. I know your faith is bigger than the dark. Tonight, you are gonna make it. Oh, you're gonna make it through the fight. Alright. You are, yes you are, stronger than before. You are, oh yes you are, stronger than before. You can face anything, you can make it through, I know you can. Oh, stronger than before.
That's one of those songs you're not even sure if you should applaud after, but just kind of sit in, right? And while we sit in that energy, it is mine to do this morning to let our spiritual community know that Dr. Hugh Carroll made his transition yesterday. We know Dr. Hugh well. We love him dearly. He always sat right there. As a matter of fact, pretty sure he still is. We also know what Dr. Hugh believed, and we know that he was welcomed with open arms into a complete field of love, and we see him there rejoicing now. It's quite fitting that the sacred reading for today is a poem by the 13th century Persian poet Rumi called The Guest House. Many of you are probably familiar with this. We often used to pull out a line as an affirmation for us to say together. And as I was thinking about that this morning, I thought the affirmation for us would be, I am grateful for whatever comes. So wherever you are, say that with me. I am grateful for whatever comes. The guest house. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep through your house, empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
Oh, thank you, Deb. Love Deb Moore. I know you all do too.
Thank you. Good to have you here. Good to have you all here. Good to be here.
Before we go any further, I want to show you something particularly beautiful this morning. I hope you can see this art in your monitor. This is Nickie's single cover art for the song that you just heard. And while we do our meditation this morning, I would love if we would just send our love and our best to Nickie on her journey, that her gifts are used far and wide, and that her reach grows every second. Because that gift, those gifts, are divine. And we want to support that with this ministry. I want to support that with my heart. So let's just bless her now and bless her ministry, knowing that all is as it should be. Each step is guided, each song anointed, each decision blessed, for the good of all and all the good. So let's just take a few deep breaths together and settle into this time of stillness. Thank you, Robin, for running behind us. We're here to celebrate love once again, just as we do every week. Probably the most important time we'll spend all week together, because, as you all know, where two or more are gathered, there is even more power than when we pray alone. So as we open to love, our fullness is found in our willingness. Our fullness is found in our willingness. And as we allow the chains of yesterday to be broken, every fearful thought falls away. And only love remains. And when only love remains, our lives are available for greater things, for higher purpose, for deeper meaning, for meaningful expression, for all the thoughts of love. Though there may be many gates to heaven, love is the only road to travel. May we follow love's road. Each of us traveling, each of us seeking, and each of us holding everything that we need. Always. In the realization of ourselves and others as love, the farther we move from fear, the closer we are to love. And so we embrace truth with a capital T, the truth that only love is real. And in the sacred silence, what falls away and what remains, when only love is real. Each of us traveling, each of us seeking, each of us holding all that we need in the realization of ourselves and others as love. In the embrace of truth with a capital T, the truth that only love is real. What falls away and what remains. Only love is real. And so it is. Ah, yes. Yes, yes. Let me see if I can find the next words. They are here. So good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. And today I want to share with you all a little bit about the week that I've had. As a matter of fact, yesterday, a friend of mine called me from the West Coast and he said, "Sis," yep, he calls me sis. "Sis, I need you to tell me what's true." Okay, what's true about what? "I need you to talk to me for about 15 minutes to remind me what is true because I'm lost in a lie." I'm lost in several lies, as a matter of fact. I'm spinning in several lies and several things that aren't true about myself and about my life. And as we've done in the past, I know that the truth is, if we stay on this phone for about 15 minutes and we talk about what's true, there will be a shift. There will be a shift. And I know that's true because that's something I've been doing with my sister for years. I'll call her sometimes and say, "I just need you to tell me what's true. Because right now I can't feel it." But I know that if we focus our thoughts on truth and we hold our thoughts on truth for long enough, I will be able to feel it again. And that's what we mean when we say it works when you work it. So A Course in Miracles tells us that all the love that was ever given is real and eternal and can never be lost. And all the love that is ever received is real and eternal and can never be lost. Dr. Hugh. Absolutely. And everything but love is a hallucination. Everything but love is a hallucination. Do we live that? No. I don't live that. I know for sure that most of us don't. Reverend Denise probably does. Up on the river, on that deck, she knows, right? She knows what love is and that's the only thing that's real. But how can this be true, that only love is real and everything else is a hallucination? Well, the Course in Miracles goes on to tell us that you have truth with a capital T, and you have truth with a lowercase t. Truth meaning truth that is eternal in alignment with the realm of always. Always was, always is, always will be. Truth with a capital T. And then you have truth with a lowercase t, which is the truth of our minds, of our ego, of our 3D earthly plane. And you know as well as I do that truth is always subject to interpretation and change. Always. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet and know that truth with a capital T is different according to who's in this room even. Even though we are drawn together by love, and that's the fundamental thing that draws us, our small t truth, there's a lot of variance. But the purpose of the mind is to think the thoughts of love and to carry out the work of love. But in order to be in alignment with truth with a capital T, and not truth with a lowercase t, we have to work our tools, ironically. Tools to truth. Okay? So let's look at this. A Course in Miracles tells us that although we think that without the ego all would be chaos, the opposite is true. Without the ego, all would be love. When everything else falls away, only love remains. And you think about that with regard to our relationships. Right? The most glorious opportunities of our lives, our relationships. And then there's always that one thing with certain people that we just can't forgive, that we just can't get past. And every time we see them, it's there. And even though forgiveness is at our disposal, what we don't always realize is that when we hold them in contempt, then we're denying our experience of heaven in that moment. We think, maybe, truth with a small t, thinks that we're holding their experience of heaven from them. But that's never possible, right? We know that. Think about the people that pissed you off in the past, and they're out partying and having a ball while you're mad as hell. Mad as hell. It's not affecting them one bit. You're so mad you could chew nails. And we all know that expression about holding anger is equivalent to drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And we're here to work that out. We're here to do that work. We think we will feel better in the having of the things we want, when in truth, with a capital T, we feel better by learning how to better focus our thoughts. In that moment, when we hold someone in contempt, we are not allowing our connectedness, our oneness, but we're seeking to withhold theirs. One thought at a time, heaven or hell. One thought at a time. You all may remember Kenya Walker that I used to sing with in Source. And Kenya used to say, you can't have happy ever after with a life on negative autopilot. Negative thoughts cannot lead to happy ever after. Happy ever after is now or never. It's now or never. And it's a choice about focusing the thought. The realization of each thought now and exercising our option to choose for ourselves. I'm choosing heaven today. You all remember that song? That's a unity song. We used to sing that back in the day. It's true. We do choose heaven. In every moment that we're willing to choose love. We look at this. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Earth metaphysically represents our consciousness. What happens when our consciousness becomes aligned with the thoughts of heaven? What happens when our thoughts become aligned with the consciousness of heaven? And what would the consciousness of heaven be? Again, back to Reverend D on the river. She wrote today, whatever we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. Whatever we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. It's a great metaphor. Whatever we allow for our consciousness is our experience. If we allow our consciousness to heal, what do we experience? Healing. If we allow our consciousness to judge, what do we experience? But what about toxic people? What about toxic people? Well, you know, it's very interesting that sometimes there are some people that bring up your toxicity, and when you interact with them, the situation becomes toxic. But it's impossible to identify toxicity unless you know what it is. Now, some of us do manage our toxicity, right? But that doesn't mean it's not there. Because remember, we're in a world of energy. Energy is about frequency, right? So when you feel that toxic person that you deem to be toxic, right, in your space, and you feel that energy and you feel repelled, what are you really being repelled by? Your fear of revealing your own toxicity. Your fear of being known and being seen, right? So what is that? My friends, that is shite.
Yes, it is.
That is our shite. Now you know I'm starting to sit and listen to these messages, right? Shite. Yesterday I'm sitting in front of my computer and I'm like, where do I go with this toxicity? And I just took a second and I closed my eyes and I was like, I can't say shit on camera.
Yeah, you can.
Well, at this church I know I could, but I thought, you know, that's kind of crass over and over and over because I'm going to need to say it a lot. And all of a sudden, I just put an E on it. Call it shite, right? Because we all know what that is. And I said, okay, well then what does that mean? It's got to, I'm a student of Beyond the Van Sant, so every word has to be an acronym. There has to be, okay, still healing internalized trauma experiences. Shite. I was like, oh, okay, that'll preach. I can say that. That feels right. Feels right. And from the frequency of our shite, we call up other people's shite, and we tend to create some very shitey experiences for ourselves and in the world.
Yes.
We do. We do. There's this interesting thing about consciousness, and that is the places where lovelessness still exists in our consciousness. Those places literally call forth the exact people and the exact circumstances to bring up our lovelessness so that we can see it, identify it, and release it to be healed. That happens. That happened to me Friday night, as a matter of fact. Over at 1214 Stratford, it got a little bit hairy on Friday night. And basically, I was offered something that didn't feel right to me. And guess what happened? My shite came up. I was triggered. Now, fortunately, nobody was physically hurt, but there was some shouting, there was some pounding. I know you all are surprised. I'm a passionate person, right? But the funny thing is that I told the person about their being childish just as I was pounding on the pig. And the person looked back at me and went, the places where lovelessness still exists in our consciousness literally calls forth the exact circumstances we need to see and heal that lovelessness. Now, did I recognize it in that moment? Nope. But I woke up the next morning and I felt heavy. Ugh, all over. So, of course, I had a cup of coffee. And I still felt heavy. And so I said, well, okay, let me just sit and let me just listen. And let me just see what I get. And that's what I got. The places where lovelessness still exists are the places that will be called forth. And what are you going to do now? And why is it so important now? Look at the world. That's why it's important. We who are doing this work, the universe knows, right? The universe knows exactly where we are, and the universe knows what we know, and the universe holds us accountable for using it. For using it. And it's important that we be able to heal our shite. Because love needs us available. And if we are shitey, we are not pure and clear and open and available for love. So how do we heal? We pour on the light. And metaphysically speaking, light is understanding. Now, in that moment, 1214 Stratford, that's my house Friday night, there wasn't a whole lot of understanding flowing in that moment. And what I have remembered, a return to love on the screen, is that God knows that whomever you are at odds with, no matter what they have ever done or ever could do, it could not change them at their essence. And every day, God has a plan for their ongoing good. Here's the question. Do you? Do you? Every day, do you have a plan for the ongoing good of people who you feel have given you their shite? Offered you their shite? I'm looking in the mirror. I'm absolutely looking in the mirror. But that realization really brought about a shift in the dynamic. And we had another conversation Saturday morning. On earth as it is in heaven. Freedom, right? But are we available to accept that? And are we available to accept the truth that God has a plan for everybody's ongoing good? Everybody's. Because everybody has shite, and everybody gets shitty, and shitey. See, I said it. You knew I would. But it's an opportunity. And you know what? It's okay to get pissed off and go away and think about it and come back and say, you know what? I have new thoughts. I have new thoughts. Sometimes I wish some of our leadership would have new thoughts and be all right with switching. Right? Have new thoughts. It's okay. Just because this is what you said last week, that doesn't mean that we're not growing at light speed if we're available. And to show up now at a higher frequency with more love than you did last week is a gift. Is a gift. Now, what if we choose not to heal? It's coming back. So the truth is that if that place in my consciousness that was dominated by lovelessness Friday night has not been adequately healed and released and understood and processed, it'll get back. And the thing that I realized yesterday morning was that this had happened several times before, although it was about somebody else's immaturity at the time. Okay. So, we're all here to do this work, right? We're all here to learn this together. Heal our shite, our mental habit patterns that have been initiated as the result of traumatic experiences that were not interpreted through the lens of heaven, through a higher perspective of understanding. The reason I got caught Friday night was because I got caught without my reason, my truth, with a capital T. Only love is real. There is nothing in God's universe that keeps us tied to dysfunctional thinking. At any given moment, we have at our disposal exactly how we would choose to feel. Exactly how we would choose to feel. I don't know who shared this first, but it's one of the most favorite memes I've seen all year. You want to be attractive? Heal. Did you share it?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you did. Yes. Yes, said, yes, I shared it. I'll take it. You want to be attractive? Heal. And that doesn't mean do you want to date. It can. But it means, do you want to be attractive to your good? Do you want to be attractive to your peace? Do you want to be available for the thoughts that can create your good and your peace? Do you want to be open and available and attractive for the ideas that can change the world, that can heal the world, that can contribute to your understanding of your part, your song, your lyric, your music, my words? Do we want to be here for that? Absolutely. Absolutely. It can be this easy. I think it can. I'm going to let you know. It definitely is this simple. I don't know how to do this, but I'm willing to love everybody in this process. I don't know how to do this, but I'm willing to love everybody in this process. Our fullness is waiting behind our willingness. Our fullness is waiting behind our willingness. And this is why a spiritual community is so important. Because in these times, and in all times, but especially in these times, this work is so important. And having loving witnesses who are willing to hold us accountable and know the truth of our essence, of the way God sees us, of the reality that God has an unfolding plan for everybody's continuing good that is not contingent on their shite being seen or not seen. Everybody's plan for their ongoing good. In order to be who we're here to be, we come together each week and we do the work to realign. That's what this is. So that we can live with open hearts. The work is remembering what is true, recognizing what has happened that has distracted us from the truth, and working the tool of focus. Working the tool of focus, our greatest gift as human beings. Focus. Focusing on the truth. Only love is real. Only love is real. Everything else is a hallucination. we can allow that to be true every moment of every day. Willingness is the key. And willingness is the way. We're going to pray this out. Everybody, if you prefer to close your eyes, please close your eyes. Father, Mother God, I invite the Holy Spirit to take charge of my journey today. I let go of all that has been before. I now begin anew. I am free and forgiven for all mistakes I've made in the past. I open myself now to expressing a brand new magnificence. I open myself to the infinite possibilities that are mine to choose. I open myself to receiving all the goodness I can have and all the greatness I can achieve. I invite the Holy Spirit to heal my body, to harmonize my emotions, to renew my mind, to fill me now with a mighty faith that empowers me and allows me to commit to be all that I came to be. And so it is. Edwin Gaines wrote that. We send Edwin love this morning. And so it is. And so it is. We're going to say this together, all of you at home. All of us in this room probably can't read it on the back screen, but I wrote it down. So we're going to say it together. I am open to receiving floods of financial abundance with ease so that I may be able to give back even more to the world around me. And so it is. Sing us home, please.
So many roads that seem to lead down to the sea. I wonder which road will be the right one for me. Others may fall away, dead-ending left and right. But there is this one road that journeys far out of sight. Have you wondered where your road will lead you? Maybe to a bright day of sunshine, or a starry night in heaven. Or it might be you're afraid to go, afraid to go. You gotta follow your road, or you'll never know, never know. We are all the travelers living in a foreign land, just trying to find our way best as we can. Looking for an answer, trying to find some love. Though we have journeyed far, it's not quite far enough. Have you wondered where your road would lead you? Maybe to a song that needs singing, or a summer rain. Or it might be you're afraid to go, afraid to go. You gotta follow your road, or you'll never know. You gotta follow your road, follow your road. Follow your road, follow your road. You gotta follow your road. follow your road. And maybe someday your road will lead you far away. Follow your road, follow your road, follow your road. You gotta go your own way. Follow your road, follow your road, follow your road. You might have to go by yourself. Follow your road, follow your road, follow your road. You can do it anyway. Someday your road will take you far away. You got to follow your road, follow your road, follow your road. You got to follow your road, follow your road. You got to follow your road, follow your road, follow your road, follow your road. And maybe someday your road will lead you far away, far away. Far away.
Nickie, Conley, Jackie Wilson, Roger Ryan. Thank you all so much. Beautiful music, beautiful people. Thank you for being here today. We're going to say this prayer of protection together. If we can. There it is. Okay. Everybody. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. One promise I can make to you all is good things are on the way. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week. Can we follow our road a little bit more? Okay, let's follow our road all the way out. Thank you. All right.
Follow your road, follow your road. You got to follow your road, follow your road, follow your road. You got to follow your road, follow your road, follow your road. And maybe someday your road will lead you far away, far away.